Today's Morphin Network video is sponsored by Ranger Stop and Pop, which is March 5th to the 7th, 2021 in Atlanta, Georgia, and Ranger Stop Convention, which is now November 11th to the 14th, 2021 in Orlando, Florida. Go to rangerstop.com for more info.
So, Mr. Birchall, how's quarantine life?
Quarantine life was, we went through, I think it was 5 to 6 weeks of staying at home and just going to the supermarket and just doing the necessary things. And the rules were that just one person in the household was to shop for for that household. But I ended up shopping for my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. And man, it took me like 4 or 5 hours to do the shopping because they just got some freaky food things that they like. And I got it down to about 2 hours by the end of the 6 weeks. And I became a professional shopper, going to the grocery store.
Nice. So when in doubt, call you if you need grocery shopping done.
And I got so good at it, I'd go over to 2 supermarkets to get all the bargains, So I said, no, I can wait. I'll go to the other one and get that one because it's better. It's better quality and it's cheaper. So yeah, call me.
So hello everyone, welcome to another live stream special video of Morphin Network. We have a very special guest, Jeremy Birchall. He is a Power Rangers very veteran voice actor. He voiced characters such as Shimazu from Power Rangers Ninja Storm, Utok from Power Rangers SPD, Skyfish from Megaforce, Yelzor from Super Megaforce, Mega Mauler from Super Ninja Steel, and Railtron from Beast Morphers. So, Jeremy, how you been?
Yeah, I've been busy obviously in Power Rangers over the years. So
you've been in the game for a full decade, man, and that takes a lot.
Going back to 2002. So yeah, I was in my 20s. I'm not now though, but yeah.
You did it. You're a veteran, and we have to respect you for it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. So Jeremy, how did you get started with acting?
Right. Oh well, I came from a small town in New Zealand called Masterton, and my parents were both involved in the theatre and dance world. So my mum was a dance teacher, and my father was an English drama teacher. So they introduced me to amateur theatre. And most of my childhood, I did that and went to dance classes and speech and drama classes. And I was an incredibly academic person. And I believe I was nurtured into it over talent. I don't think of myself as talented. I think I was told, they saw me on stage and said, wow, you're really good at that. And it's probably because I was smiling and enjoying myself. And I believed it. And then I turned it into a career. And then I went, so I did that from about 10 right up to my teenage years doing, amateur theatrics, dramas and musicals and singing and dancing lessons. And then I decided to go to do some training. So I moved to Auckland as a young 19-year-old. And then I spent a couple of years training at Unitec school for film acting and theatre. And then I came out in the 90s, and that's how sort of my journey started in the profession. And at that stage in New Zealand, film and television was just sort of breaking into the international market. So I was really fortunate as things like Xena and Hercules were just starting out then. Yeah.
Nice. Leo?
Yeah. How did you get started with Power Rangers?
Okay, so this is one of those things in life. It's not. It's a bit like being at the right place at the right time. And I'd done in 2001. I'd done a pilot for the Sci-Fi Channel called Riverworld, and I was part of the core cast. And I waited for about a year for them to make it into a series, and that was going to be amazing, but a lot of stuff happened and Sci-Fi got bought out, and in the end it didn't get made. So that was okay, but I ended up doing some ADR for it. So I was going into the recording studio and just redoing some of my lines from the pilot. And the coordinator for that movie was also going to be the coordinator for Power Rangers. And I just started doing really silly little voices in there whilst I was waiting. And she goes, you know what, you'd be really good for Power Rangers. I said, okay. And then I ended up auditioning and then becoming part of their loop group. And that was in 2002. And I've still been working on it since then up to 2019, either looping or voicing monsters. So that's how it happened. It was just happenstance. I was just in the right place at the right time.
Speaking of being in the right place at the right time, how did you get started with voice acting, which led into you becoming a veteran voice actor for Power Rangers?
Yeah, so I think, you know, when I got that break, I didn't have a voice agent at that point. I was using my acting agent, and then I started getting a few more auditions for things like Power Rangers. I'd say Power Rangers was probably my first break into the voice world. And at that stage, it was very, very new to New Zealand to be working on something of that scale. And we were all finding our way and our feet. So I have a theory that I think we only have about 4 monsters inside of us. And then we just slightly changed them a little bit by maybe talking a little bit different. But in those early years, I would go up and probably audition for maybe 5 or 6 monsters at a time for each season. And if I was lucky, I might get 1 or 2. But it was really young and naive back then, thinking, I could do this forever and ever and ever. But as I've done more and more of them over the years, I've come to realize that maybe I've got about 4 that I just slightly change, or stick a spoon in my mouth and get a slightly different sound, So it started back there in 2002, and then I started doing a little bit more commercial work in the advertising industry. But where I really cut my teeth was in the loop group. And I think Laurie Dungy talked to you about the loop group. I've been part of that loop group way back there in 2002. So for your viewers who might not know much about loop group, is that the loop group come in and do all the supporting voices for the episodes. So we might voice 3 or 4 episodes in one 4 or 5 hour session, and that'll be the cafeterias, the school, the bad guys, and having conversations as they're standing at a console, or getting knocked on the head and then fall over. So a really interesting thing happened is, because I got a dance background and I was really good at picking up choreography, the stunties, they would do all their stuff in what we call second unit, but it's not voiced. I'd watch, a sequence of Power Rangers and bad guys fighting, and memorize a minute of it, and then they would just say playback and voice it, and me and another actor would just go and be able to do a couple of takes of that. And that was all based around my dance experience, because I could remember the choreography of the thing. So it's funny how these things work out, eh?
Excellent.
That's awesome.
That is actually awesome, and thank you for that. That was actually cool. So Jeremy, you did say you did work for the franchise for 18 years. So do you have any wonderful experience or memories that you want to talk about currently working now on the franchise?
Yeah, so I suppose going back to those early years when we were doing Ninja Storm and then Dino Thunder and all those things, we were all in a sort of a honeymoon stage of kind of creating what the vibe would be here in New Zealand. And everyone was really buzzy at that point about this amazing show. I mean, I grew up watching it, it was banned here for many years. I mean, we can watch it now a bit more on the cable shows and all that sort of stuff, but it's too violent for New Zealand. But I'd say to people I was working on Power Rangers, and they go, "Is that still being made?" I said, "Yeah, we've been making it for a long time, but a lot of New Zealanders don't know it's been made here." So it's really nice. Like, a couple of moments in my life is starting there and seeing the young person I am now to the fan base, such as yourselves, who, because I was one like you as a kid, and now a new breed of people and fans coming through. Like, I went to the States in 2005. I was there for about 6 months, and I was in LA, and we were working on the split series. So series 1, what was it? 2005. Was it SPD? Something like that? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, SPD. So I did Slate and Wutox in those series, and I remember vividly going to a cafe, and a young boy was playing with the toys. And season 2 hadn't quite come out yet, and we were working on season 1, and I was trying to explain to somebody, this is so surreal. I'm on the other side of the world, and we're working on this show now, and this kid is playing with this toy in front of me now. And that was a really unusual, serendipitous moment, which I'll always remember. Also, I've worked on set once. I've been on set once, and that was right back at Ninja Storm. And Sally Martin, who was Tori, she danced in the Talent Quest in that, and I was her choreographer for that. Yeah. So that's a little tidbit. So many amazing moments. And I think, it's really cool that a lot of us have got grey and old working on it as we were young,
So it's kind of cool that you did tell me you're a choreographer, because I'm also a choreographer too, Jeremy. And so I'm guessing you also had some stress doing some choreography too in some projects.
Yeah, back then I was doing a bit more choreography for TV. I did some for a TV show called Cleopatra 2020, which was made by Pacific Renaissance. So I was doing a little bit more TV stuff back then. But yeah, there was a bit of stress around that. But Sally's a really good mover and a really good dancer and very talented person. So they just called me to go and have a rehearsal with her. And I said, I'd like you to do this, this, and this. And she already knew what she wanted to do. And then that was fun. I went and basically got paid to hang around and watch her do a thing and just drink coffee, What's better than that,
A lot of people remember you for being Shimazu in Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Can you tell us the process in looking for the voice of Shimazu?
Okay, I suppose I've kept my process for finding all the voices the same. So I mean, going back then, that's a long time. That's 2002 I recorded, but it was released 2003. So Shimazu, I used to record like in a little dictaphone, because my memory's not really great. If when you walk in, your nerves are really like up there, and then they say, okay, have you got any options? And I like to come to an audition for maybe like 2 or 3 options for each voice, and they will give you a brief and a script, and then they'll say it's a cross between a front end loader and a eagle, and then you got to try and sometimes make that voice sound like that, because that's what the creature kind of looks like. So you get an image and maybe a couple of words that sort of that describe what that monster or that character is going to sound like, and then a small bit of script, and then you'll read with someone like Jim, who will be in the other room, and he'll just go, and you do this, and you do this, and you go, and then he'll go, okay, that's take 1. And then you go, okay, have you got another option for that voice? So then I get my little dictaphone out, and I've already pre-recorded what each voice might sound like. So I come with a pretty preconceived idea. And as I said, maybe four monster voices that I have. I can do variations on it, but as I'm getting older and more experience, I'm losing a bit of that naive I can do anything thing. I need to prepare more and come to the party with what I'm going to do, because I think I'm starting to see my limitations.
Hey, you're young. You're young at heart, all right. So
There is no limit.
there's no limit.
No, I know.
This actually goes forward to my next question. So, besides Shimazu, is there any favorite monster or character in Power Rangers that you were able to portray or voice besides Shimazu?
Favorite ones. Yeah, I mean, you know what? One of the biggest challenges I did, and that is to mimic somebody else. That's hard. And I did the Gold Ranger Samurai. That would have been Steven Skyler in 2011 and 12. So because he wasn't available, I voiced Clash of the Red Ranger.
Oh.
And I also was his voice on Xbox Gold Ranger Samurai or Samurai. So yeah, that was probably one of my favorite things. I like to have that challenge. Did you know that I did that?
No.
I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did.
So Leo, you're gonna play the game now, all right?
Do you have an Xbox 360?
No.
Do you have who has an Xbox 360? You probably pick one up. Yeah, so that was over the 2011, 2012. So, but it's funny when you say what was some of those favorite moments, but that kind of challenge where you have to listen to somebody and then bring your A game to the fan base and make it kind of seamless. I don't know what I sound like, but I love the challenge. And I don't. Those Xbox games are really full on because you got a like 3 or 4 hour session, and you have a list of script things you have to do, but you have to do multiple takes of those, like 10 to 15 of those. Power up, another 10 more of those, or what are you going to do? And then you're absolutely sweating, exhausted. You need a chiropractor at the end of it. And seriously, I put my back out so many times in West.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know that was a thing.
It is because there's so much physicality involved in it. And a lot of voice actors will say, "Wow, I feel absolutely exhausted. And I need to go home and have a nap, or I need to go and see my osteopath or something after that," because there's so much physical tension in the body. And that's actually what keeps you safe, is that if you don't put your body into it, you'll not have a voice that will sustain 20 years. You'll get nodules, and this apparatus, which is our tool, gets overused and can't be used again. So I have a technique called rotational body technique, and it was discovered through the Boston School of Music, I believe. And what they used to do is put cameras down singers' throats, and all types of singers, opera singers and rock stars, and they'd look as they did different positions with the body, how the vocal cords would change. So if I take a certain stance on a body and I lean forward or say something, I can get a lower register. And if I stand back and I put my weight into my lateral muscles, and I can give a supported voice. So there's a bit of a science to it. When I went to singing for maybe 2 years, I didn't sing, I learned theory.
I feel the pain. I did theory for like 2 semesters. Like, nope.
I did not know they shove a camera down your throat. That's actually quite new to me too.
Yeah, it's they want to know how this apparatus worked, and they got an amazing amount of science with it. And they learned a lot from rock singers, because their microphone technique was so amazing. I'll use something that's is that when they rotate the mic around like this, it turns the lateral muscles, and they do that, and therefore the whole body is supported through the lats. And how could they sustain long concerts doing 2 hours at a time back to back? And that was this technique that they didn't know they were really doing, and now they've formalized it. So I implement that into my voice work now. I've gone all over the radar with this conversation.
I would like an example of what you do before you start your voice acting, but that involves a camera going down your throat. I'm okay with that. But you become more of a voice director, Jeremy. Where did your interest? What was your interest in becoming a voice director come from?
Okay, interesting. It's an interesting thing if you make me go back into my mind's eye about how this came about. I think yet again another thing in this country, we adapt to survive. So I have many strings to my bow. And I got interested in working with young people, next generation, and directing them for stage. And that became a passion of mine, working in musical theatre. And some of those young people now are much younger people who are off around the world, training in institutes and having amazing experiences, becoming professionals now. And I think what has sparked in me is that giving back is really, really important, and also nurturing those young people into a healthy career as well. So that's where it started for me. And then loop directing became a part of my repertoire. So I did work on New Zealand local stuff and also Legend of the Seeker. I don't know if you ever know that TV show.
I have.
So I became the looping coordinator and director for that TV show. I think we went for maybe 2 seasons of that, and then that started, I suppose, building my CV and my work now that I do films and TV, and I work on a video game as well now, which is called Path of Exile.
I know that game. I played it.
Yeah, so I'm the voice director and the coordinator for Path of Exile.
Holy shoot! Oh my gosh, I actually played that game like last year.
Yeah, it's a big game. Yeah.
And let me ask you this, Jeremy: is there any other video game like you worked on, or any other video games, or just Power?
Oh yeah, I've worked on a few games that never made it to the market, and it's an amazing process how much money people spend, millions of dollars, to bring a game that never makes it to market. No, Path of Exile is what I work on at the moment, and I did that work for Xbox as well for the game. But we've got a couple of big companies in this country now that have Tencent interest, who have put a few million, hundreds of millions of dollars into developing games. Grinding Gear Games is one, and Rocketworks is another one. But at the moment, I'm exclusively working just for Grinding Gear Games. So.
I see. Yeah. What's your advice to any aspiring voice actor or voice actress?
Great. I think what I would say is that where your voice desire to become a voice actor is sort of based is your passion for storytelling, and the passion usually comes because you're a fan as well. I do a bit of teaching at some institutes around here, and I think coming back to that raw base of why you get into this industry is a little bit like fame and fortune. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just sort of really basically getting paid and getting recognition for what we do. So if you just reword those things, it's okay to embrace those things of why you get into it, because you have a passion for it. You want to be recognized for what you do, and you love storytelling, and it's okay to get paid for it too. That's the thing. It's a job. So I would say treat it, if you're turning into a professional, like a job, and respect yourself, and know that you there's only so much stuff you can do for free. I still at my age now get so, well, it'll be good for your CV. I think, it's okay. I don't need to do it now. Good for my CV. I need to still get paid. Yeah, that, and also looking after your apparatus and looking after yourself. Your mental health is really, really important. Something I'm a big advocate for, and not a lot of people know this, but I'm dyslexic. So I love working with people who have mental challenges, and I am a big advocate of working with people in the studio. Like, I make sure that actors, when they come in, they have their scripts printed out into big, 14 fonts. If they have Erlins and they need different colored pages or lenses to read scripts, it's really, really important, because when you're working 4 or 5 hours, you got to look after yourself, So, yeah.
Definitely.
And I'm happy to become mentors for people that want to become. So I extend that to people who want to contact me, and that I'm happy to help them with their careers and talk about stuff as well.
Definitely.
That is awesome. That's really, really cool that you work with people who have dyslexia, and it's cool to see that someone who's working with people who has dyslexia as well. So you understand where people are coming from and the difficulties they have to deal with.
Do you know what? There are so many people in our industry that have learning disabilities and dyslexia, because that is where they were pushed into their careers, because they weren't accountants, lawyers, and doctors and that sort of stuff. So we find a lot of people in the arts have learning disabilities, and we have to embrace those, because they think differently, they have incredible talents, and we can't let their limitations and what they portray get in the way. We have to give them a chance.
Speaking of acting, do you have any advice for any inspiring actors or actresses who are trying to break into theater?
Oh, into theatre. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people start in the community theatre because that's a great place to make your mistakes per se. You'll always be making mistakes throughout your career, what you perceive as mistakes, but they are often willing to get ugly. Theatre is a great place to get ugly and and lay it all on the table. So I think having a good work ethic is really, really important, and that is like anything, be open and honest and show up on time and be respectful. Because I work with lots of really talented people, but talent means jack. Basically, if you can't be polite and show up on time and be willing to learn, those are the key things, I think, and then the rest will come. But I work with more people that have those qualities that are exceptionally talented people who throw their toys out of the cot. And as I say to people, you can take a career, can take you 20 years to build, it could take you 1 minute to destroy it. It's things that you might say or do. And the theatre is an incredibly amazing place. And what I would say is just stick to those rules. Allow yourself to have some opportunities in community theatre, and then get yourself an agent.
Right on. So here, guys, you want to be in theatre? Listen to Jeremy's advice.
Mistakes. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, be ugly, make mistakes. Yeah, because that's where you're going to learn. And I'm ugly still, and I still make mistakes. And and that's okay. It's a lovely community if you get into the right one.
Do you have any upcoming projects that you would like to tell our viewers or the fans?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Path of Exile fan, we'll have a new release. We do a new release every 3 months. So the next release is going to be in September, and it's a biggie. I've got a lot of voice actors coming through for that one. So this week that I've got coming up, I'm going to audition a lot of voice actors, probably 40. I'll probably, yeah. That's going to be ongoing. So I have 2 more leagues of that, and I'm also working on a animation TV web series with a friend of mine. I can't say too much about it at the moment, but it's really exciting, and it hits a demographic for women, and that's really, really amazing to be working with women who are editors and animators and directors, and I think since the Me Too movement and other movements that have brought to our consciousness people that need to be seen and heard, that's exciting to me, and nourishing that those new creatives coming through. So yeah, that's what's going on at the moment.
Right on. So now this ends the 10th question part of the interview. Now we have the fan comments and questions. So Jeremy, are you ready for the fans?
I am always ready for the fans.
Stuart Snyder to ask, who was your favorite character to voice?
Okay, I would say probably the favorite one, if I go at the moment, the most recent, which is, I think you've seen it. I'm not going to talk too much about the series, but Railtron. I think it was kind of a bit fruity, and it was a lot of fun.
Before doing voice acting on set, did you watch any episodes of the Sentai footages, and also did you watch any season of Power Rangers and Super Sentai?
Right back, yeah. So when we were working like on the original stuff, we were getting all the footage from Japan. So, I mean, obviously as a kid, I watched it and never dreamt that I'd ever work on it. And then when we were getting all the footage, it was shot here, all the story stuff, but all the fighting stuff was from Japan. So all that stuff I watched, and that stuff was amazing. And those stunt guys are incredible, because in this country, when we shoot it, from what I understand, is the second unit is really the main unit, and first unit is not regarded so much as main unit. So second unit is the fighting and the stunts, and then the first unit is the storytelling. It's kind of like going off from there. But mainly watched a lot more of it as a kid, and I watch sections of it now, and the stuff just to sort of keep my hand in it and understanding what's happening, and it's really cool.
Nice. Paratimus is asking again, do you prefer cricket or rugby?
Rugby.
Rugby?
They're both national sports, but we're a big rugby nation here. Yeah.
Martinez, what type of dance do you do?
Oh yeah, cool. So when I learned tap dancing and I learned jazz, what you guys would have back then called American jazz, but and then I was part of the movement of teaching hip hop in the 2000s, and so I made hip hop a big part of my life and teaching and performing. And but used my jazz background for musical theater and tap. So like when I did Billy Elliot, my tap was really, really important. And now when I choreograph musicals, and a lot of musicals are sort of like tap and the jazz. So Oklahoma, Grease, and all those sort of things. Yeah.
Wait, Billy Elliot. Which Billy Elliot? Like what year did you do it?
I was in the stage show Billy Elliot, and I did that in 2016. I worked on that for maybe 5 months or something like that, and I played the role Mr. Braithwaite. And I had to tap dance and skip with a skipping rope at the same time. That was one of the most challenging things that I've had to do.
Yeah, because I actually love Billy Elliot. I was asking because I thought you were the one when Tom Holland was there, but but Billy Elliot's actually one of my favorite musicals. Well,
that's great.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, here he asked us, did you voice the Gold Samurai Ranger Clash Red Rangers? He did answer it.
Yes.
Let's see, there's more here. How was it seeing Chris Violet, Sky SPD Blue, move his mount at the same body of yours when him and Mutox trade bodies?
Gosh, I'm going to have to be honest, I don't remember. I'm not going to lie.
It's been 15 years. Okay.
It's alright.
SPD. Oh, 2005. Jeez.
I was 11 when SPD came out. No, 10 when SPD came out.
Yeah.
I was 10.
Oh, you guys are young.
I mean, speaking of SPD, I actually got these today, so hold on, I'll be back.
What do you got?
He's been toy hunting for the last 2 days, Jeremy.
Yeah. Days, and I got these for only $10.
Oh wow! Not even open. Are they new? Are they or old?
They're brand new. Yeah.
They're brand new.
Yeah.
I got mine over here. On my dresser over here. So.
A question. Question about toys. Like, I don't know because we don't have that range here. Are any of the things that I've voiced toys? I don't know.
There are some action figures like monsters where it's like, oh, they really like this monster. Okay, we'll make a toy out of them. I think they made one for Shimazu. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but I was
probably 8 years ago. Yeah.
I think Yale's already made a toy.
Oh wow!
I don't know because I know they made a Super Mega Force monster as a toy. I remember that.
I just did a quick count of the monsters. So I've got a kind of a loose CV here, and I was like 13 of them over the last 18 years or something I've done.
I'm pretty sure Railtron will get one at soon.
Oh wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so Hasbro watching this, make him a toy. Railtron.
Hasbro. This is Railtron. We want a Railtron action figure, Hasbro. Lightning Collection. Okay.
I will buy it.
If you need to make it a PMC exclusive, we will still buy it. But we want a Railtron action figure, Hasbro.
Right. I do. I want an action figure of monsters. So, let's see. Kyle Goldfinch. So interesting that Power Rangers banned in the country is now being made in.
I know, right? We've been conservative. Before we got a lot of things like Netflix and cable options like Disney Plus and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of monitoring. When I grew up, there was only 2 TV channels, TV1 and TV2. Yeah. And then when we got TV3, that was amazing. It's not like that now. But yes, it was regulated in this country as too violent. And we were making it for years and nobody was watching it here.
Damn. Okay, so do you have any favorite movies?
Oh wow, that's such a wide question. I think in life we go through genres, you know. Like there's times that I really loved watching action films, and I love thrillers. I like going back to some of those old thrillers. My wife and I are going back on Netflix and having nostalgia at the moment, like watching The Firm again. And we watched what did we watch the other day? The Fugitive again. Like that was amazing. And I'm really mainly into box set television at the moment. I love Ozark. I think that's amazing. Yeah. And Ozark's cool. I love sci-fi. I love Star Trek movies. Of course, I like the old school Star Wars films.
Which season of Star Trek do you like the most?
Oh, interesting. I've been watching at the moment the new Picard stuff. That's a lot wordier. And oh, geez, that's a really tough question. Do you have a favorite?
Deep Space Nine is my favorite season, and keep in mind, I did not grow up a Star Trek fan.
Yeah.
The first Star Trek piece of media I ever watched was the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie back in 2009. I love that movie, so I actually, all right, I'm gonna put my unintentional hatred to Star Trek because I don't know why I don't like Star Trek, and I watched Space Nine, and I'm like, I like Deep Space Nine. This is really good. I like I like the main character who's the captain. Let's go. So that's just Space Nine after that.
Yeah, that's an interesting question because I think the films have become a bit like clickbait for the series now, like going into the more modern ones. A New Zealand actor who I've worked with, Carl Urban, plays Bones in those films, and that's really great to see him sort of rocking those films. But I think probably like you, I go through genre times. Like I'm really loving the box sets at the moment. There's so much amazing television being made, and the arcs are so long. Like coming back to a film now, you just don't get the subplots that you would get in a TV show like Ozark or something like that, where you're so invested. Yeah.
And also, damn Trekkies. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I like Deep Space Nine. Okay, I like that show. Leave me alone.
Star Wars for life, guys.
I'm a Star Wars fan too. Heck, I even like Rise of Skywalker. Leave me alone, okay?
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, I got Disney Plus, so I've been reliving all those films. And the TV series. What was the one we just had recently? Taika Waititi directed one of them as well.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to see another season of that.
This is the way.
Really cool.
Let's see. Damn set. Do you have any theater projects? Theater
projects. I'm going to, this year we had cancellations, obviously because of COVID. So everything live just went down got pushed to next year. So I each year I do one private school musical, and what I'm doing next year is the Addams Family with them, the Addams Family musical.
Nice.
So, I've done a lot of work on it already. I pretty much was close to. We were like a week and a half out to stage it, and then. Then we got into lockdown, so I'm going to restage that next year with them.
Nice.
Gomez Addams.
Yes, you could be Gomez Addams.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's good.
and Ryan could be
Wednesday Addams. No.
He's gonna be Fester.
Okay. I'll be Fester.
Fester's a great role. Yeah.
Okay. Paradimasu says again. Can you say in Shimazu Jr. Finally, I'm revived. Now it's time to revenge the Rangers.
Oh man, can you say this? Shimazu Jr.
In Shimazu Jr. Finally, I am revived. Now it's time to revenge.
Hey, how does his voice go? Do you remember?
No.
No.
Now, finally, I'm a revived. Something maybe like that.
Okay, I think it was it. Hold up. I think it is.
Finally, I'm revived. Now it's time to revenge the Rangers. Maybe something like that.
Hey, Junior. So we're like, I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it needs to be. Oh, now you see higher up. Oh, I'm feeling.
Tootie Dak has asked, did you meet Alistair Browning, who voiced the Silver Dino Charge Ranger?
I do know Alistair Browning, who just passed away recently, which is very, very sad. And Alistair is a really, he's pretty iconic in this country. He's been in some pretty big projects, but I have met him, and he's a great man with a lot of integrity. And a sad loss to our industry for sure. We've got a very small industry here. We pretty much know each other. We know everybody.
Oh, by the way, special friend wants to say hi to you, Jeremy. Lori's here. Just hi.
Oh,
Hilarious. Hi, Lori.
Laurie, have you got nothing better to do on a Saturday? Listen to this old schmo.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, Laurie.
Cody Blight says, Jeremy, what do you think of X-Files? Do you watch X-Files?
Oh, yeah, man, I love X-Files, I love X-Files. I would love to see a new generation. More. They've just done those reboots of those films, but I need another series. Oh, what was it actually? No, they did a 6-part, didn't they? That was
Yeah,
it was on for a cool minute on Fox, and I think it finished up or something like that.
Yeah. I totally into my conspiracy theories when I was in 2005 in the States, and I just loved being there. You know, I was reading so much stuff and watching that sort of stuff, and it's just like being in an X-Files movie.
It's hilarious how the X-Files theme song has now become the anthem to any conspiracy theory show or movie or video on YouTube right now.
Absolutely.
Illuminati, cue the X-Files music. Aliens, cue the X-Files music. Earth flat, cue the X-Files music.
Whoever wrote that would be probably hopefully cashing in on that.
The Clippers winning the finals, cue the X-Files music.
Hell no.
That's a conspiracy, Ryan. We don't know it's not going to happen, but still.
You know what, though? There used to be a TV show called Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yes!
Yeah. I love that show.
And I loved it too, but I was only a kid when it came on. And to tell you, the truth, when that theme music came on, I used to run down the hallway because that was more scary than the show itself. I'm sure there's a whole generation of people that saw the X-Files as children that feel that same way about it, Yes,
for me, it's Halloween. Whenever I hear the Halloween theme song, I'm running. I used to run away because I've always been scared of Michael Myers, but now I'm like, okay, look, what's going on?
Me, it's Exorcist theme song.
Yeah, that too, right. This is scary stuff.
Yeah. Our good friend Blake Aldafor says this is awesome. Hey, Blake.
Hey, Blake. Thanks for connecting Ryan and I together.
Yes, so shout outs to Blake Aldafor for helping connect with Jeremy for this awesome interview.
Oh, look at that cute photo of him with his baby.
Aww. Love you, man.
Pull up, Ryan.
They did in season 11 and even series.
Oh, yeah, season 11. Man, that's success. Jeez. Stuff gets the plug pulled. They can't go beyond 6, It's just so hard.
I mean, yeah, it's true. I mean, Supernatural lasted, 15 seasons?
Wow, that's amazing.
And they literally just finished, a year, this year or something like that. I could be wrong.
Series. And, Vampire Diaries did heaps, too. They did probably about 9 or something like that.
And then we'll do last one, best for last. Lori is... He just bloody will appear.
Oh my gosh. Good. She's got her priorities, I'm somewhere between laundry and eating a sandwich.
Oh, love you, Lori. The voice of people are here.
Laurie is exceptionally hilarious to work with too. She's an improv queen in this country. You want her to do stuff off the cuff. She's very, very funny.
Yes,
and she was in Lord of the Rings as well, so that's good.
Yeah,
I mean, who wasn't? I wasn't, but so many people were.
Hopefully, maybe soon, Jeremy, maybe for Netflix.
Oh yeah, because you can't get any actors into this country, so we're gonna have to employ local people, and maybe.
Jeremy for Lord of the Rings. Get it, Netflix.
Wait, if you make an adaptation of Shadows of War, Shadows of Mordor, here's Jeremy. Netflix, here you go.
Yeah. I auditioned for Haldir. I think Craig Parker got that one.
Yeah.
That role. He's good. And I've worked with Craig before.
Paratomish Muscle says, will you come back? Well, as a voice, well, would you come back if they ask you?
What was that? Dino Thunder?
Dino Fury, the new
Dino Fury, sorry.
And he's asking, would you?
They've done Dino Thunder and they've done Jungle Fury, and now they've combined the two. We call it Dino Fury.
Hey, Jeremy, you're on to
Dino Shark. Yeah, sorry.
You're on to something, because that'd be a really cool like spin-off where it's like the kids from Dino Thunder and the kids from Jungle Fury all have kids, and now their kids are about to become Power Rangers. No, Hasbro, Jeremy just helped you out. That'd be really cool.
I don't know. I think you're the brains behind this.
No. You have the credit, okay?
But hey,
5% if they do put that on the writing room floor. So
yes. So I think the question, if I was gonna do Dino Fury, absolutely. I think I'll probably get some auditions come through, and I don't live in Auckland anymore. I live up further up the island, but I can lay down some tracks, so I'll come into the studio when I'm down in Auckland, and if I get the opportunity. There's no nepotism, so Jim only gets the best people in. So if I have the voice and there's something to offer, I'm sure I'll give it a go.
definitely, and hopefully we'll see you in Dino Fury. So,
Yeah. Try and find a new voice. Stick something else in my mouth rather than a spoon, or something. I don't know.
all right, guys. Yeah. All right, guys. So this ends our interview. No time left. So, Jeremy, thank you so much for being part of a special guest. Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you very
Jeremy,
much, guys.
where can you find you? Do you have any websites or anything in social media where the fans can find you?
I have my own website, jeremybirchall.com. I do have some updates on there to do, but that has a lot of a body of my work on it. And also, I think was it Gemboy Kiwi? I think is my
Instagram. Yeah, I saw that.
which has like nothing in it. But yes, I'll get a bit more proactive on my social media. I'm just part of that generation that's catching up. Not like you kids. Not like you kids who are doing things all the time on social media.
Oh, that's awesome. And Leo, my partner, where can he find you?
On social media. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, @Reckless_Fox, YouTube, Reckless_Fox, and you can find all my latest gaming content on twitch.tv/RecklessFox. If you want some more content, me and a couple of guys from Morphin Network, we do our own video game podcast every weekend. So find us on SoundCloud.com/ScrollCutGame. That's SoundCloud.com/ScrollCutGaming. And we're also on Google Podcasts now as well. And Ryan, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram, DancerBoy247, and please follow us on Morphin Network on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, Jeremy, if you do come to the States sometime and we do meet you, can you teach Leo how to dance? Because he needs help dancing. Because here's a picture of him trying to dance, and it doesn't well.
One of these days, Ryan. One of these days.
You can dance, all right.
Fake news.
But anyways, but again, so thank you,
Yeah.
Jeremy, thank you so much.
No worries.
Leo, thank you. And this Morphin Network, and we do Goodbye Wave. So bye, guys.
Have a good day, guys. Take care.